Comments from Coach Pitino.
Well, I want to congratulate Connecticut. They played a great second half. They physically dominated us at the 5 spot. And the first half was just about as well as we've played all year. But the second half was about as poor as we've played. But that's due to Connecticut's defense and offense. They've got all the metrics to win a national championship. They average 17 assists. They're +9 on the glass against great competition. They shoot 46% from the field. They shoot the 3 well. Their backup units are just as good as their starters. So they got it all. I thought we had a legitimate chance of beating them going into the game, but we came out in the second half and they just dominated us. So they deserve all the congratulations. I'm very excited for these 3 guys. They had a hell of a year and gave me everything they could give me. It's a great learning experience playing this competition. They were by far, we played a really good schedule this year, and that was by far the best team we have faced.
At this time, we'll take questions now for the student athletes. We'll start front row, right.
Barrick, you got off to a good start today. Ken Kreitzer for Camp, that's me, excuse me. Barrick, you got off to a great start today. Second half was tough. What was different about the way Connecticut played in the second half?
I feel like they came out and wanted more. They came out more aggressive on defense, and we kind of stopped running our stuff, so we struggled a little bit.
Next question. Yes. Left side, row 5. Thank you.
Hey, Roger Rubin from New York Newsday. This is a question for Walter and Barrick. Early in the second half, they get that 4-point play, and it kind of starts them on a roll. Do you think that that play had any sort of significant lift for them?
I believe so. That play gave them all the momentum and got them going. And from there, we just couldn't get no stops, and they got more aggressive, and we just think we couldn't get no stops.
I'm going to me, basketball is a game of runs and momentum. So coming out of the half, like this, they just came out more aggressive. They gained all the momentum, and we could never get it back.
Next question. Yes. 4th row left.
Mark Singleton, Albany Times Union. Dennis, can you just kind of sum up how you feel about how the season went? 14 straight wins, MAC championship. Obviously didn't end the way you wanted today, but what are your kind of feelings about the way this team played this year?
I just told the guys I appreciate everybody that was a part of this season. We were on a 14-game winning streak. I mean, it's the next game. We came out, we were executing our game plan the first half. The second half didn't come out the way we were supposed to, and they took off with the game. So I just told the guys, give all the credit to them. Like they stated before, they wanted it more. So, I mean, a loss hurts, but I told them don't hang their heads. A loss doesn't define us. We just got to learn from it. I mean, that's all I told them. I think we had a great season up until this game. So I just told them I appreciate them and I love them and I thank everybody in the locker room. So I mean that's how I'm feeling at this moment.
One more for the student athletes. We'll go left side, front row, right here.
Sean Martin, Times Union of Albany. Dennis, can you talk about the impact Coach Pitino's had on your career and everything, being able to play for him?
Coming into this year, when Coach P was recruiting me, he seen how me and Walt were going to fan out together in the backcourt. And we knew if we were on the same page, we can get the team to run in the right direction. And Coach P just been big on, he taught me what it's all about to win and also handling adversity. I'm good when things are going good, but when things start to go left, sometimes I was shaky throughout the year, and Coach P just came to me every time and told me, son, you got to do better with handling adversity. So I tried to do that throughout the whole year. At times in games where I seen the team kind of getting down, I would try to step up and be that leader to keep everybody together. So to me, that was the two biggest things that impacted me the most: winning and handling adversity.
Student athletes, thank you for your time today. Appreciate it. take care of that. We'll take questions now for Coach Pitino. And we'll start in the 2, 3, 4th row, beige sport jacket.
Jim Coyle, with Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Coach, I know this is a delicate question after the game, but is this your last game coaching at Iona?
I really don't have an answer to it, and to be honest with you, I have no idea if it is or isn't, because I've focused everything on this game, trying to develop a plan to beat Connecticut, and they just physically dominated us on the glass and in the low post. And it really taught me a lesson of what you need to compete at this level. And we didn't have the front court that can compete at this level. So it taught me a lot of what Iona needs in the future.
Stay on this side, 3rd row.
Rick, Jeff Goodman, you look like you're getting emotional. Or are you just tired? I can't tell.
No, I'm not emotional.
Okay, you look like you were getting a little emotional there. Just what does it mean for what you've been able to accomplish here and the opportunity that you got from Iona, from the president, from the athletic director?
Well, first of all, I was totally exonerated because I was innocent of I got 2 level 2 violations of not being able to monitor. I got letters from every player I've coached, every assistant coach that's ever coached, to send to them to say what a disciplinarian I am. So I had to wait 5 years for them to basically stall my career out to finally get exonerated. It was exonerated by an impartial committee made up of legal people, not ADs and not people they handpick. So for 5 years, they put me in the outhouse because they couldn't get their stuff together. So it's just the breaks of the game. You can't look back. The past, it's always cherished. You learn from it. You cherish the past. I've been to 7 Final Fours, 2 championships, and I cherish that. I also learned from the mistakes that were made. The present is where we're at right now, and it's disappointing for my guys because they're a great group of kids. And the future, I really have no idea what the future may bring, because I got to look at the grand scheme of things about winning, and winning is very important because we all work so hard. Every coach works so hard. And we played almost a perfect game. We played the best half of the season. And then the one thing, 24 assists in a game and getting beat on the glass 45-29. We've been a weak backboard team the whole year because we lost our starting power forward. Our power forward was a center, backup center, and he weighs 194 pounds. So it's always been our Achilles heel. But I'm so proud of those guys because no matter who went down, somebody else stepped up. And the first half tonight, I thought we had a chance of getting them, but they just wore us down. They were the much better team in the second half, and a team that can go very far.
Front row left.
Paul Snyder, the Montauk Sun. Back to the game, Coach. I thought they won it in the second half in the first 2 minutes, and you called a timeout to try to stem the tide on that. And Coach Hurley mentioned that they pulled Sanogo aside at halftime and said they needed more from him. He was definitely the difference in this game. Was there anything you could have done to have beaten them in this game?
Well, we had their best player 0 for 6 on the perimeter in the first half. And when they ran that curl play, that stagger play, our 5-man didn't hedge out, and we've worked on that all week. And that was a big play. And you're right about the 2 minutes. Nelly is just learning the game. He's just learning about scouting and how important. They're just a simple cross screen beat him tonight, and that should never beat a player. But he's learning. He's a good basketball player that's learning the game. Most of the guys that I coach and bring over, they start with soccer. And they're great kids, great students, and they just learn it and get better and better and better, like Gorky Zhang did at Louisville. So Nelly's going to get better. He's going to improve, and this will be a good learning experience tonight.
Second row, and then the last one will be in front. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick, Michael Rothstein from ESPN. You talked before that you said you don't have an answer right now. Do you have an idea in your head, timeline-wise, of when you'd like to make a decision with whatever it is that you're going to do?
Not really. I really haven't put any thought into it at all. I hear a question from you, and I think when you start thinking ahead, you always fail. And we put a lot of effort into this game, and I don't know. I don't know if it's right for me, another job. I don't know that. It's something, like I said before, I know you're all alluding to St. John's, but I've never seen St. John's. And somebody sent me a clip. If you go on YouTube, one of the funniest games of all time was 1987. There's a loose ball out of bounds. We're up 1, and it goes out of bounds, and Louis going crazy, saying there's 1 second on the clock, 1 second on the clock. It probably was. I got my team. I threw Billy Donovan in the shower, and he said, "Coach, my shoes are on." I said, "Just turn the water on, get in the shower." And referees came out and said, "There's 1 second." I said, "My guys are in the shower. We're not coming out." And we never came out, and the referee, Timmy Higgins, went, "Game over." So that was about the last thing I remember about being at St. John's. That was 1987, guys. 1987. So I don't remember too much about it, to tell you the truth, to be perfectly transparent.
Last one, thank you.
You don't buy houses without looking at the garage, the upstairs, and the kitchen and everything, right? You don't just buy a house.
Coach Ken Kreitzer, Cam Vetsmead. I just want to ask you about the leadership of the 3 players who were next to you, Walter Clayton, Barrick, Sean Louis, and Dennis Jenkins, how they grew. I know you were working with Barrick throughout the season, really 3 years here. How did you feel like grew into leaders?
They all played really well this season. We just didn't have when we substituted, we really dropped off. And one of the keys to having a great basketball team is when you sub, either foul trouble or fatigue, you don't drop off that much, and that's what Connecticut has. We have a major drop-off when we substitute. Cruz Davis this is the first time he's even suited up and looked to play. He wasn't the same Cruz Davis. But those 3 guys, and Nelly had a bad night tonight, but he had a terrific season. We only had 4 or 5 players that were ready for this level. And then because Quinn Solinsky getting hurt, that put a monkey wrench in us. But look, this is going to sound strange to you, but if we were at Kennesaw State right now, I'd be more disappointed. Right now, I can look at this game and say, UConn was much better. It's not going to make me smile, but I can look at it and say, hey, they were a better basketball team, as a lot of my teams have been on a given night. If you lose at the buzzer, you play everything over in your mind 100 times. So now all I'll do is look back and cherish what these guys have done for me. You know, when I talk about basketball culture, when I was at Louisville with all their problems, we had the #1 academic record in the ACC and the Big East. Every one of my guys always went to class. We hear it at Iona. There's a rule. You don't miss class at all. I don't even have to check up on them. They check. We had a 3.1 grade point average 2 years in a row. Besides these guys going 42 minutes of player development in the morning, weightlifting, practice, they gave me everything they could give me. So Iona's a special, special place. And it doesn't, this loss, I mean, we're building this program to a level right now. It's pretty damn good. And you witnessed that in the first half. I just got to make sure that we're deeper than that. And a lot of times I had to take players in COVID that I never even saw them play except on film.
Thank you, Coach, for your time.
Thank you,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.